What information do you need to get an official Microsoft Excel certification? Hello, I'm Philip Burton from excelinoffice.com. So why would you want to have an Excel certification? Well, it proves to somebody else, maybe the next person that you're going to apply for a job for, or maybe to get a promotion, that you can do the skills which are listed in the Microsoft exam. It's not just your word, and it can go onto your CV or resume, and it does open doors if you are looking for a new job or promotion. Let's face it, if there are two people coming in for a job, one says, I can do Excel. The other says, I can do Excel, and Microsoft also say that. Which one, if you could only choose one, would you go for? So let's have a look at the Microsoft Office certifications. So just Google Microsoft Office certifications and you will get to a page which looks either like this or like this. So it keeps changing the web pages. So by the time you visit it, it might be different. So there are new Office certifications for Office 2019. But there are also those for 2016. And quite frankly, the difference between Excel 2016 and 2019, apart from stylizing, is a bit minimal. So let's have a look at what you need to get a certification as opposed to just passing an exam. You need to develop competency and show it in Word, Excel and PowerPoint. And then to get the next level up, the Expert certification. In addition, you also need Word Expert and Excel Expert. It's a similar sort of thing for the 2016, except you can also go to the master level. And I've got the master level. It sounds much better than saying you're an expert, to be honest, but sadly it doesn't seem like they're doing it for Office 2019. But the requirements are roughly the same. So let's have a look at getting your foot on the ladder. The Microsoft Office Specialist. You just need to pass one of 5 exams. So if you click on Explore this certification, you see that the exams are in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access and Outlook. So as this is a video on Excel, let's have a look at the 77-727 exam. So you can see what they're asking for. Create and manage worksheets and workbooks, manage data cells and ranges, create tables, perform operations with formulas and functions, and create charts and objects. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't really go down into the list. You can create tables. Yeah, I can create a table. No, they want very specifics. And so you need to go into the download exam skills outline. Now, in the older version of the website, which you might be on, you would have all of this outline as part of the web page. But they seem to have taken that off, so it leads you right back to the same place. So let's have a look at this exam skills outline. First of all, you have to create a workbook. So create workbooks, create worksheets. So we know about how to do that. That's fairly obvious. You go File, New, but then import data from a delimited text file. Okay, that might not be so obvious. So we'd need to go Data and then go into from text and CSV. So the rest of the requirements on this bullet point look fairly standard. Add a worksheet, well, just right and click and go new worksheet, and copy and move a worksheet. You can go to move or copy. There's lots of other ways of doing it as well. Navigate in worksheets and workbooks. Well, my favorite one here is just to right and click on these 2 arrows at the bottom. But navigate to a named cell, range or workbook. Well, what is a named cell? Well, we go to formulas and we go to name manager and defining names. Insert and removing hyperlinks. So we'll go to insert link, for instance. Format worksheets and workbooks, so we can change the color of a tab. Again, quite useful if you're trying to categorize certain types of spreadsheets. So you can see, for instance, these 4 spreadsheets are of a different type because I have colored them differently. Adjusting row height and column width. For example, did you know that if you have a certain column width and you wanted it to be the maximum that is needed or the minimum that's needed for all of this data, then you can go between the columns and double click. So that will instantly expand it. Customize the quick access toolbar. So that's this up here. So you can click on this drop down and go to more commands, and you can drag in either popular commands or any commands from anywhere on the ribbon and have them right at the top. And you'll also find out, if you go deeper, how to use keyboard shortcuts to assign your favorite commands to keyboard shortcuts. So then we've got other things like setting a print area, setting print scaling, making sure it prints okay. Replace data, fill cells using autofill. So if you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you don't actually have to type all of those or use a formula. Format painter, oh, this is brilliant. Suppose you wanted a particular cell to have the format of another cell. So you go to the cell that you like, you click on format painter, you go to the other cell, and there we are. It's now in the new format. Or you could double click on it and go to multiple cells and then press escape to get out of that. So format painter I quite like. Insert spark lines. Well, let's say you've got some data like we've got here. I'll just create a new spreadsheet for it, and I will paste and transpose it so it goes the other way around. So this could all be done as shown in a graph in just one cell if you so wish. So the graph will be in cell N1, and so there is our spark line. And it's great, of course, when you have multiple sets of data and you can format it so that you show the high and low points. So what I'm getting at in this outline is that it's giving you exactly what you need. But more important than that, some of these things could be really useful in your Excel experience. For instance, conditional formatting. Let's say we wanted to highlight all of these which are above the average. Conditional formatting, top bottom rules, above average, and highlight, they're already highlighted. Or suppose I wanted a data bar behind it so you can see which of these are really big data bars. So if I change this by adding a 10, you can really see the data bar really developing in the background. Conditional formatting is tested in this particular exam at a moderately basic level. It gets much more interesting in terms of formulas using conditional formatting in the expert level. Creating a table from a cell range. Tables, again, they are great. I'll just copy this workbook, this sheet, and if I wanted to highlight this in a table, convert it into a table, then I'll just highlight it, go to Insert Table, or press Ctrl and L or Ctrl and T, and click OK. And now it's a table which can now be stylized fairly easily, and I can go to the bottom and have a total row. So maybe I want to count the number, and I can add new items just by tabbing along. So no longer do I have to get formulas and make sure that they work. We now have all of the formulas at a drop of a drop down button. It will also give me access to filters, which again is on the requirements. So suppose I wanted all of the filters, all of the CDs that I've got here which have got the word classic. Easily done. And you can see we have a filter that we have blue coding in the rows, showing that there are some hidden rows and that there is a filter applied. You can also see that using this icon here. So let's clear that filter off. So here you can see the filter rows. You can also change the sort order. So suppose I wanted it all to be in ascending order. Very easy to do, especially in a table. And then we have got formulas, which a lot of people think Excel is all about formulas. Well, you notice it's only a quarter or a fourth of all of these requirements. So it's not very high what we've got. We've got min, max, sum, count, average, and then we've got the ifs. So if, sum if, average if, count if, and then we've got formatting using functions, right, left, mid, upper, lower, proper, and concatenate. So there's more functions in the Excel expert version. So functions really take a back seat in this certification. And then we've got creating charts. So fairly easy to do again. Just go to Insert and select your favourite chart. So hopefully from the rundown of this list, you'll be going, actually, there's a huge amount of this that I already know, but there were one or two things, maybe something that I have shown you. Like, for instance, suppose I want this to be a named cell. Yeah, no problem. We define this name as, say, top left. And then elsewhere, I can say equals top left. So there might be some things here that you're going, actually, I really like to know more about it. Well, you have got the individual elements here that you need. You can just Google them. You can read a book. I mean, if you go to Amazon and type in 77-727, you will see some study guides, not very expensive. Those are about $15, maybe $20 for some of them. Or you could do an online course. For instance, my online courses are for both PC and a separate one for Mac. And if you didn't want to do one of my courses, no problem, but it's worth looking at them to have a look at a curriculum. So if I scroll down, you can see the way that I teach it. So the bad thing, I think, about all of these requirements is it doesn't give you a good order in which to learn things. For instance, a very second item is import data from a delimited text file. That's fairly advanced. It's certainly not the second thing you learn after creating a workbook. So I put it down a fair bit in the hierarchy. So we start off with creating workbooks and configuring them to save and some very basic formulas. And then we navigate through those worksheets, formatting them. You should recognize all of these terms, of course. These were all in the exam. Now, I love level 2 section 5. If you don't know how to use the $sign in Excel formulas, then this is a must. It can make your formulas so much easier to do, to copy and paste all over the place. And then we insert data and format cells, including some conditional formatting. And then we're creating and modifying tables, we're filtering, we're sorting, we're grouping, and then we're using charts. And then, where do you go? How do you know if you reach standard? Well, you could just take the test, but I would suggest going to measureiup.com. And you can see they have Microsoft Office official practice tests. So if you wanted a bundle, for instance, to do Word and Excel and PowerPoint, £113 is not bad, given what you'll get out of it. What you'll get out of it is a series of practice tests, and not just, well done, you scored 60%, but you'll also get feedback on each question you got wrong, so you will know why you got it wrong, and next time you do the practice test, you will get it right, hopefully. And these practice tests, they either last for 30 days, also 180 days or 365 days. So 180 days, probably long enough for you to be able to learn all the material and then take the practice tests and then hopefully take the real tests. And then, if you do that, you will get your official Microsoft certification. And I think this will look really good on your CV to be able to say you can do all of the requirements that it says. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this will encourage you to learn Excel. If I can help you learn Excel, you'll see in the description links to my courses. If you've got any questions, why not ask them in the comments? I hope you like this video. I hope you will click the like. I hope you'll click the subscribe and tick that bell, select the bell. That way you'll get notified of any forthcoming videos. I do videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this will inspire you to get this certification, and I'll see you on the next video.